Committing mistakes. An essential subject from Vinaypedia. One who is directly engaged in all these devotional activities is to be understood as having studied all Vedic literature. He has come to the conclusion perfectly. Of course, for the ordinary persons who are not in Kaya consciousness or who are not engaged in devotional service, what is to be done and what is not to be done must be decided by the injunctions of the Vedas. One should act accordingly, without argument. That is called following the principles of Stra or scripture. Stra is without the four principal defect that are visible in the conditioned soul. Imperfect senses, the propensity for cheating, certainty of committing mistakes, and certainty of being illusioned. These four principal defect in conditioned life disqualify one from putting forth rules and regulations. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinaycoats Commit Mistakes category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 8 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. A conditioned soul in the material world has the disqualification of cheating. He has 4 disqualifications. He is sure to commit mistakes, he is sure to be illusioned, he is prone to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. But if one carries out the order of the spiritual master by disciplic succession or the parampar system, he overcomes the 4 defect. Therefore, knowledge received from the bona fide spiritual master is not cheating. Any other knowledge which is manufactured by the conditioned soul is cheating only. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.24. 12. A conditioned soul is very often apt to commit mistakes, and the only remedial measure to take against such unintentional sins is to give oneself up to the lotus feet of the Lord so that he may guide one to avoid such pitfalls. The Lord takes charge of fully surrendered souls. Thus all problems are solved simply by surrendering oneself unto the Lord and acting in terms of his directions. Such directions are given to the sincere devotee in 2 ways. One is by way of the saints, scriptures and spiritual master, and the other is by way of the Lord himself, who resides within the heart of everyone. Thus the devotee, fully enlightened with Vedic knowledge, is protected in all respects. Sri Isaupaniyad, Mantra 18, because of attachment for money, the richest person is even afraid of himself. He fears that he may have locked his money in an unsafe manner or might have committed some mistake. Aside from the government and its income tax and aside from thieves, even a rich man's own relatives are always thinking of how to take advantage of him and take away his money. Sometimes these relatives are described as Svajanaka Dasyu, which means rogues and thieves in the guise of relatives. Therefore, there is no need to accumulate wealth or unnecessarily endeavor for more and more money. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.13. 33. Even in ordinary transactions between 2 people, there is invariably cheating because the conditioned soul is defective in 4 ways. He is illusioned, he commits mistakes, his knowledge is imperfect, and he has a propensity to cheat. Unless one is liberated from material conditioning, these 4 defects must be there. Consequently, every man has a cheating propensity, which is employed in business or money transactions. Although 2 friends may be living peacefully together, due to their propensity to cheat they become enemies when there is a transaction between them. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.14. 26. The punishment awarded by the state or by God for one's own faults is actually for one's benefit. In the Manu Sahit it is said that the king should be considered merciful when he condemns a murderer to death because a murderer punished in this life becomes freed from his sinful activity and in the next life takes birth cleared of all sins. If one accepts punishment as a reward dealt by the master, he becomes intelligent enough not to commit the same mistake again. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.26. 21. An intelligent person engaged in pure devotional service can understand that he always felt separation from Kaya within himself. In that separation he sometimes felt that he had found Kaya and was enjoying the meeting. The significance of this separation and meeting is very specific. If someone tries to understand the exalted position of Lord Chaitanya without knowing this, he is sure to misunderstand it. One must first become fully self-realized. Otherwise one may misidentify the Lord as Angara, or the enjoyer of the damsels of Vraja, thus committing the mistake of Rasbhsa, or overlapping understanding. Chaitanya Karitam Ta, DLL 4.106. If one does so out of a poor fund of knowledge, his mellow with the Lord becomes spiritually faulty and is called Rasbhsa, an overlapping of transcendental mellows. The advanced devotee who has actually realized the transcendental features of the Lord will not commit the mistake of creating a Rasbhsa situation by using one name for another. Because of the influence of Kali Yuga, there is much rasbhsa in the name of extravagance and liberal-mindedness. Such fanaticism is not very much appreciated by pure devotees. Kaitanya Karatam Madhya LL 8.90. The words Jainina Nasalipyate indicate that by following the Vedic principles, one does not become involved in the actions and reactions of his fruitive activities. Everyone is therefore advised to act in terms of the Vedic injunctions and not irresponsibly. When a person within a state acts according to the laws and licenses of the government, he does not become involved in criminal activities. Man-made laws, however, are always defective because they are made by men who are prone to committing mistakes, being illusioned, cheating and having imperfect senses. R. Madbh Gavatam 4.26. 7.